Us here today. Lots of familiar faces, so some of this may be, repeats of what some of you have already done. My name's Becky Brown. I'm the District Conservationist for Caroline and Talbot County. So if you come to the Caroline office or Talbot County, more than likely you'll see me. And then
I'm Alison Taylor. I'm in the Denton office with Maryland Department of Agriculture.
So even though I'm federal, she's state, either one of us can help you. We all kind of know each other's programs and we know what we have to offer. So when you come into our office, especially for poultry producers, we have some information that we collect up front. And this, even though we're just Caroline and Talbot, this is, going to be the norm probably for any county or any state that you go to. We'll need to know your location of your farm, how many houses you have, if you do roasters or broilers, how many you have per flock, flocks per year, and average weights. And we get that information because a lot of our financial assistance depends on how many houses that you have and how many animal units, which is the amount of birds divided by the amount of weight that you guys produce per flock. We offer financial assistance, like I said, through Natural Resource Conservation Service. So we have a program called the EQIP program through the federal portion of it, where a lot of our practices come from. And that is a program that is yearly. We operate off of regional rates, and we have like a flat rate for ours. So there is a specific amount every year that you will get for a certain practice. We do continual sign up, so you could come in today and you could put in an application for a practice. However, we do tend to fund them in the beginning of the year in January. So if you were to come and do an application now, we submit it in our system. It is ranked and you compete with the whole state. And that is generally submitted the beginning of the year. And then right now we're in our process of funding our applications for different practices. You have to have eligibility through Farm Service Agency. So that is also in our building here in Caroline County. We're right on Legion Road. And the Farm Service Agency is right in the same building. You can go in there, establish your records. They're going to collect basic information. If you have an LLC, they're going to want to know who your members are, what the shares are, addresses, things like that. But we can help you get that paperwork straight as well. So a lot of the presenters today were talking about energy audits. We do offer cost share on energy audits through the EQIP program. We have been doing them now for probably 10 years. So the energy audit is basically, it's a 2-year process kind of through NRCS. If you were to come in right now and tell us that you wanted an energy audit for your poultry operation, we would sit down, we would get your bird numbers, your house numbers, if you're doing your broilers or your roasters, and we have a spreadsheet and we can calculate how much you would get for your cost share amount to go towards that energy audit. At that time, if you came in right now, you would have 2 options. You could either wait until our funding period would start up again next January, or you can go ahead and get that energy audit on your own. I've seen our cost share rates are very close. I'd say they're about 90% they cover of the energy audits. And there's multiple companies that we can use. I know NSAVE, the rep is here. We have GDS. We have several on a spreadsheet that we can give you, and you would contact them to get a quote. If you were to get that on your own, that's fine. It just has to meet our NRCS standards and specs. So that is something that we can go over with you. You have to have the technical service provider, and they have to use that ASA, BE, and NRCS standards. So we have to make sure that it meets our qualifications in order to be valid in NRCS's eyes. And we have, like I said, we have a list of TSPs, or technical service providers, that we can give you their information. If you were to get funded, you would come in, you would sign a contract with us. At that time, you would know how much you would be getting for that audit. After we give you the final approval, you will contact the audit writer. make arrangements with them to come out to your farm and evaluate your poultry houses. We recommend that you're there with the provider. You know, if they have any questions, you're there to offer any information that they may need. The audit will get sent to you, and we'll also get a audit sent to us at the NRCS office, and we have to do an administrative review on that and sign off on it that it meets our standards and specs. At that time, you would receive your financial assistance payment. You have to have an approved contract with us before you can get the audit written. We can't retroactively pay you for that audit. After we have the approved audit, and if whether it's cost shared or you got financial assistance through us or on your own, if you used one of our technical service providers, we can use that audit and we can cost share on items within that audit if they are recommended by the audit writer and they have a payback of 30 years or less. We can do lighting, LED lights, if you need dimmer controls. I know we've done that for several people in this room. We do offer cost share on ventilation for your fans, radiant tube heating, attic insulation, wall insulation, and tunnel doors. A lot of those, what we do is we use the numbers in the audit. We also have to have a design that goes with these. We have technicians in our office that can do those designs for you, because this is considered an engineering practice. Depending which item you get done, you can either install it yourself, like light bulbs, you can do that yourself. If it requires any kind of electrical work, then we do require an electrician be hired and signed off on that. That's kind of all that I have for the energy audit portion of it, but we did put some other things that you guys may be interested in getting cost share on, that we do offer that through our office as well. HUA pads, we do it per square foot of the project, and it has to be either in your comprehensive nutrient management plan, or we have to see a valid resource concern, and then we'll add it in your comprehensive nutrient management plan. Critical area planting around your HUA pads, if you have any drainage pipes, any cover in or around your poultry houses, we can also look at that with you. Tree and grass plantings, if they are located within 100 foot of the poultry house, put some typical containerized stock that we use. We hire somebody, or you hire someone to come out and plant, but we pay per foot or per tree, depending what you put up. And we can do, it's either going to be called a hedgerow planting or a windbreak shelter belt, depending on how many feet it is away from your poultry house. That can help you with the wind, and ultimately it's going to save you on electricity. We do grass plantings in front of tunnel fans to help cut down on the dust that is expended and the ammonia. And then there's another tree planting. That's me in the purple dot up there after 7 years. So that's one that's a little bit further away. Something else, and I might defer to Alison for this, is we do offer cost share on litter amendments.
So litter amendments, as you know, help reduce ammonia in the poultry houses. NRCS cost shares on this. They are 3-year contracts. Right now, you get 3 payments over 3 years. You would get your payment after you treated your 4th, 8th, and 12th flock. NRCS requires that you spread 100 pounds per 1,000 square foot if you're doing a granular application like All Clear or PLT, and then it's 25 gallons per 1,000 square foot through the whole house if you're doing a liquid A7 application. This is a practice that you're only able to sign up for once per participant. If the farm sells, you're able
if it changes ownership, then you can.
You can sign, or the new owner can sign up, but it's one that a lot of our farmers like. And these are just some of the products that are approved through NRCS to use as a litter amendment. You can go ahead and talk about comprehensive plans as well. NRCS offers cost share for that. The state planners in our office and in your local soil conservations also write those plans to keep you guys in compliance with the MDE, CAFO, MAFO requirements. Like Becky said, we go out to your farm if we see a resource concern and you need HUA pad or larger manure sheds, something like that. Those are all things that are called for in your comprehensive plan and things that Maryland Department of Environment are looking for when they come out. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Maryland cost share. We don't have any energy practices right now that we're cost sharing on, but some of these practices you probably already have on your farm, like manure sheds, composters, those sorts of things, but we'll go over that. The state uses a flat rate based on the regional rate. The cost share is reimbursed based on a percentage of the flat rate and the invoice for your completed project. So the farmer would pay for the practice and then the state would reimburse a percentage of that cost share. And unlike federal, the state still pays in a check. So one difference there. Poultry waste storage structures, the size is determined on the number of birds. I know everyone in here has a manure shed. If your operation has changed, if you've added a house or growing a different size bird, you may qualify for a little bit larger. We can extend the buildings. Composters, bin or channel composters, the state pays 87.5% of a flat rate. That size is also just determined by your number of birds on your farm. Heavy use areas, the state also pays 87.5% of a flat rate. Currently the flat rate is $10. That's just been increased in this past month. The cap per operation was $50,000 and it's just been increased to $75,000. So if in the past we've said you can only get 6 pads because our cap's $50,000, now you can come back to us and we may be able to help you with a little bit more there. The maximum size that the state pays for is a 1,600 square foot pad. That can be offset. It doesn't have to be 40 by 40. It can be 50 by 30. NRCS and MAX can co-cost some practices. A lot of times, like Becky said, we're working together on the practices and we can co-cost on. NRCS will provide a flat rate of cost share, and if there's a balance remaining after NRCS cost share, then MAX can help with the balance of that. There's also other practices we didn't have in here, but there's a lot of drainage practices and that sort of thing for crop fields. And
yeah, we offer other things besides poultry practices. So
yeah.
If you think you might be interested, or you see a problem spot out on your farm, just come into your local office. That would be best, and talk to someone either from NRCS, from the state, or the district, and we can schedule a farm visit, come out and look. If you're interested in the energy practices, we can go over it depending, what you have going on out to your farm or how old your houses are. And the best thing is just come talk to us first, because we can't do anything after the fact.
Right.
But we may be able to help out with some cost share if you come in and, get ahead of it.
And one thing I didn't say about the state cost share, but it's non-competitive and it's ongoing all the time. So you have something you're interested in that we talked about as far as manure shed or composter or pads, come in and talk to us.
And I guess to touch on the IRA funding, that's also trickled down to NRCS. And I know in Maryland this year, we put a significant amount of the additional IRA funds that we got into energy practices. So for a long time, we've had a backlog where we just haven't had enough money to fund all of the practices on the shore. And I believe this year we've gotten caught up and we were able to fund and catch up on everything that we've had. So we put over $1 million into energy this year through NRCS in Maryland. He asked if he had an energy audit done 5 years ago, could he have it done again? So for NRCS, we count the lifespan of the audit to be 10 years. If you've had a significant change on your farm, if it's changed ownership, you've changed bird types, or you've had a significant reduction or increase in bird numbers, then we will cost share on it again.
Second one is for you about manure shed. Manure shed is 10 years. I got it 10 years ago. Can I apply for it?
No. We can only do an extension if Good question, but
I think the cost of what it costs to build a new one, you might change your mind.
if you've had a significant change in your operation, like another house or something. Usually a bird type change does not warrant an extension. It's usually if you've built another house or that type of thing. Yes.
But the pounds don't.
It doesn't, it changes it some, but we need to have, we need it to increase at least 12 foot for us to put an extension on, and it usually doesn't change it that much.
Yeah, I don't think that we do any right now.
Just tunnel doors.
Yeah, just he wanted to know if we did any cooling pad system replacement. For that piece of it, we only cost share on the tunnel doors. And that's a square foot payment. I think right now it's like 8 something per square foot is what we cost share on. Possibly, I know since we've caught up with a lot of our applications for energy practices, they're always asking for recommendations at our state office on new practices that we could potentially add. So that could be a suggestion we could send up to them.
Burning questions.